Hey, what's good, peoples, man? Before we get this episode started, it'd be dope if you toss us a like, a subscribe, and also don't forget to turn on those bell notifications, man. We truly appreciate it.
You're not my man. You're not my man. You're a genius.
And we are live. What's goody, people? It is your host, John D. Contradiction. I'm here with Reckless, and we are here with another iteration of the Who's Man chapter of the NotYamanz podcast. This is where we do interviews with dope artists that you need to listen to so you can stop dangling off the balls of all the famous people putting out garbage albums for the year, like Drake and some of that Kendrick project. But anyways, introduce the homies up at Xuper Heru. We got High Sunday, we got Bison, and we got Genesis. Genesis to God. That's the full, you know.
Yeah.
These are three dangerous men. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. Pen wise, I probably even real life wise, because if they write in the shit that they write, they might be dangerous on a real run into you type level. But what's good, fellas?
Yo, Xuper Heru, man.
Mm-hmm.
I do not support the strays we're sending at Kendrick over here, man.
Yo,
we LA over here, man.
I did not like that, Mr. Morale, and everybody gave us hell for a week straight after my review came out for it. And that's fine. I'm gonna die on this hill. I'm from New York. That's what I do.
I'm sure there is a way to explain why that wasn't it. So I'm sure you know. You're not just hating.
Yeah, no, I had like, because I mean, I'm a fan. I like Kendrick, but I was like 5 years, and this is what you give us. And on top of that, there was a lot of things that were he know better. He should know better,
dude. He's a whole stat. Did you see that performance in Italy they just put out?
Man,
with the little like thorn crown on, and he's bleeding.
I mean, he got a couple little outfit changes.
They should have had a few thousand diamonds in there. That's what I was listening. That shit was crazy.
Talking about like the women's rights thing. So he getting dragged on Twitter for that. They were like bad timing. Like the people are cooking him for that. Like he can't do anything. Right?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I saw all morning. I was on Twitter. You know, you see one thread on Twitter, you start cracking out because people they died.
Yeah.
And he been getting fried for that, but. Whatever, it's not the Kendrick cast. We had a whole episode for that.
Yeah. Sorry.
We like to go
I'm LA, man.
We go on tangents out here, but I got a question before. Reckless is the question master. I like to wing it. I like to keep it front stoop energy.
More organized and shit, you know.
Yeah, he got that organized. I'm like cookout, you know, I'm handing you. But I do have a question because, you know, y'all are some very intelligent minds when it comes to that. I put y'all on a high tier. Like lately, I've just been recommending y'all to people so they can understand like there are levels to this shit. But I want to know how'd the name go? The group name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gotta point that to
probably this Jen.
That's Jen.
Oh, there we go. Hey, it's got to be Jen.
You sound the most articulate when talking about that one.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's really timing. I mean, it's comedic because it's Heru, which is the Greek would be Horus, which is the son of Asar, and the Greek version of Asar would be Osiris. And then obviously his mother is Aset in Kemet, and then Isis in Greek. But so Heru, the hero, you know what I mean? Like the liberator, you know what I mean? Like the righteous one. So I had, you know, a vision of creating a league, kind of like Avengers or like X-Men, you know, X-Men, but real, like realistic in real life, like not some comic book shit. And you know, honestly, it's like a lot of that stuff is just prophecy, like it's prophetic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For like stuff that will happen in real life. Like we have movies and we have comic books and we have, you know, fictional characters and books and stuff like that. But a lot of that stuff is like prophetic, kind of like the Matrix. So it was like these times call for liberators, and this is the age of the super hero. So Heru is the true hero. So like, you know what I mean? Like the universe gave it to me, I gave it back to the universe, and then we all kind of found each other naturally, just like how the superheroes do. You know what I mean?
Okay, I rock with Jeez, hey, there's levels. I rock with that. I mean, I like the whole idea of like the profit side of it. But I also like the realistic idea, because I'm always one that whenever I hear a story of like a hero or anything like that, I like to attach it to like, hey, whenever this existed, whether it's something like a Jesus story or a story, anything biblical or not, it's like back in the day, this could have just been someone that people were like, yo, I look up to this dude.
Yeah.
And then over time, it builds up into this grand thing. And that to me kind of gives me the idea of like, yo, words are that powerful. Yeah. So it's like 3 words, y'all the three horsemen of words, you know what I'm saying? But it's like words, you know what I'm saying? That's y'all thing. You guys build 3 completely different characters, stories, like all sorts of techniques with just words. And it's like that. It makes words that much more important. You know what I'm saying? You guys are kind of like, when I think of lyricists and stuff like that, you guys are like very strong characters to represent the power of words. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. I mean, hearing the deep side of it, but it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll be praising y'all. I mean, I'm not, y'all know how I get down. But whenever I talk to them, I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers can rap. So I'm like, whether you want a quick Instagram fix or any shit like that, I'm like, these motherfuckers can rap. Like, these are students. These are Padawans of the game. Like, this isn't this is fun shit.
It's different. Like he said, with like the superheroes be having completely different origin stories and like superpowers and stuff like that, right? But Avengers is like the greatest movie of all. Yeah, I mean, so like this is kind of, I think, what we're going with this thing. And normally it'd be like form a group. You either like all want to like sound the same, or when you sound different or completely different, there has to be something that meshes it. We've never even met in real life. I guess me and Bison have now, but you know what I mean? Like, we've never even met in real life. So this whole thing of like, how is it that we make it mesh? And instead of like it being a meshing, it's more like, it's like you're watching one of those movies where like scenes jump between multiverse, you know what I mean? And like universe, and it's like real sharp turns and sharp color changes and mood changes. And like, I think it's cool that worked out with us, because otherwise it's just 3 random dudes who like to rap, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, and that's a tough thing too. And that's kind of like, that fits with the whole story of that. Like the Avengers is like, yo, on paper, these dudes aren't supposed to work together.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, but when they do, it's like, oh boy. And like, and I'm a fan of that. And I'm also a fan of y'all because I've always been a big fan of super groups in hip hop. And I feel like we're in the era where that's dead. People don't do that. Artists don't even collab no more unless the label
they want for themselves.
You're allowed to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Unless the label lets them. So seeing like dudes who are still hungry. So it's like dudes that, unfortunately, it's got to be the people who ain't, signed for the most part, who are doing the independent thing, are the hungriest. Is what it is. But seeing that area of hunger get crazy and get busy and work together, it's dope, man. It's dope. That's even being lost in like the mid-tier underground. You know what I'm saying? Like even like I love the Griselda dudes and all the dudes that's under them. And once people start getting signed to them, like those artists we see coming up, like I'm a big fan of Rome Streets and all of them like that, they stop collabing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not right. You know what I'm saying? Come on, like rap back in the day, anybody collab. We got DMX with a fucking Staten Island cat with the Wu-Tang members and LL Long Island. You know what I'm saying? And none of them sound the same. And that's what made it stick.
Yeah. It's like
sometimes,
everybody was seeking individuality back then, though. Now it's like people seeking to be the same ass person.
Yeah, they want to work with more words.
Look like the same joint, sound like the same joint, fucking smell like the same shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, a lot of the reasons why they don't last or they fall apart is because their differences and their individuality.
That's true.
It's hard to find a group of dudes that will, work well together and it's not often that you see that, Yeah. And we 3 have done it for almost 2 is a year and a half now, so that's pretty dope in my opinion.
Yeah. And that's the effort side of it too. Like a lot of nowadays artists and stuff will be like, yo, what team can I get on to blow up and dip? And back in the day, I mean, like, you know, my generation, our generation in hip hop, it was like cats would come out so they could put their team on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to put so I go team on. And now it's like, oh, I blew up. So now we split up. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
There you go. Yep.
It don't make sense.
Yeah.
It don't make sense.
Motherfucking Migos is literally related and they split up.
Yeah, although they're just telling the rumors now because we get each other changed now, so they're trying to dispel that rumor.
Oh, is that right?
Back then, though, it was less artists in the beginning. It's kind of like anything natural that evolves. It starts out with the few. Once there becomes a lot, they form groups, and then the individual becomes like there's less of them because there's more people, there's more things, there's more units, so they come together. And then eventually individuals sprout out of that, and the individual is always rare. So you know what I mean? So it's like back then it was like styles. There weren't that many styles, so it was more. It seemed like it was more unique. It's like you got more people.
It was borough. Back then it was like, where are you from? That's how you rap. You know, like New York, like Queens dudes rap like Queens dudes. Queensbridge rap like Queensbridge. Bronx like Bronx. Staten Island, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like New York doing drill and fucking, you know what I'm saying? We doing all sorts of random shit that, like, you know, that's not New York. Drill ain't New York. Come on, bro. Like,
well, even then, when you start out, you still have the individual who, let's say we're in New York. You got a couple individuals who have unique styles, and then that becomes New York. Then people start mimicking it. And then eventually you might be 5, 10, 15 years down the line. You got a new individual who come out with a new style, and then people start mimicking that. So it's like, it's always about the individual versus the crowd. So once again, to find individuals that remain individuals in a crowd mentality, in a group mentality, is more rare, and it's less likely to be successful.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's kind of what the internet killed. The internet kind of killed individuality, because on the internet, you don't even have to be a person. You don't even have to be successful. You don't even have to show your face. Like, you don't have to, you could be a literal fake person. You know what I'm saying? A whole image, and you could blow up, and you could claim you from anywhere. You literally can create your whole entire, it's a video game. You know what I'm saying? It's an RPG. You do whatever you want. Create your name, your location, where you're from.
And an avatar.
Yeah.
And even though it seems like one big battle of like follows and numbers and all that, ultimately what's fucked up is that it's no longer a battle. You are your biggest celebrity, so you don't really have to like rub shoulders or battle or know that the person next to you does what you do, but they don't sleep and they do it better. Like, you don't have to know all that. You can just unfollow it and only look at people who like the same hashtags as you. Like, that's crazy.
And that's wild. Like, 'cause imagine. What's crazy is with music too, is like, even though music's probably a lot more controlled now than it was, artists and stuff still got to realize the opportunity in front of them, because there is no other like profession in this world that is like that. You can't go, like, even now, you can't go into the NBA even anymore and be like, yo, I only do this. I don't need to do all this. And you know what I'm saying? And ignore it.
I understand you're like really good at this thing, but like, I'm going to play. I'm going to play because like, I said, I mean, like
I need you to still practice your free throws. I need you to do, you know what I'm saying? Follow the plays. So it's like, there's no other big profession like where that's okay, but music, you know? And it's still, I mean, that's a good and a bad. I mean, it's a great opportunity. I mean, it splits things in half. Obviously, you got competitive versus not. But hey, I mean, it's like, yo, music is it. People can do whatever they want with music, and that's
the thing with us. We started off individually. We were all individual artists. We met online, and we met through competition because we was jumping in these rap leagues and competitions, and then we ended up, linking up, on its own. It was like just a natural thing. It wasn't nothing that we were seeking. None of us thought that we were going to be in a rap group or something like that. Like, we just formed on our own, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, real recognize real. That's that warrior shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. I was literally like, I don't do 4 bars, bro. Like, I rap too slow and take too long to get to the point. Like, I can't do fucking what y'all do in y'all little 4 bar. But then I looked at these, and I looked at Bison. I was like, yeah, I've been seeing him. He's ill. I looked up Jen. I'm like, nah, Jen's serious. Like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Whatever this shit is, I'll do it. And we're here a year and a half later, you know what I mean? In a group, like album coming out, all this. So,
yeah, excited for that. I'm ready for that. Honestly, I'm ready for it too, because I know you guys are aware of, the climate of hip hop and what's going on. And to me, I'm like, all right, I know for a fact they know what was going on with the Slaughterhouse shit. So I know there's that, there's that in mind. You know what I'm saying?
That timing was interesting.
So it's like, all right, I know at minimum, y'all like, nah, we got to make something better than that. We got to work on something, So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So I'm ready for it.
It's something to me, in my opinion, is definitely way iller than that. In my opinion, as much as I love them dudes, it's something different too. It's not anything like they've done. So the fact that we were 3 individuals and somehow we managed to make like this perfect package. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But perfect package, bro. Like, and like the way
we're allowed
Sunday
to be into our own package.
I gotta remember.
I always do my own
Sunday on his side. Sunday produced basically all the beats and mix everything in it. And bro, like I gotta tell you, like, besides the fact that me and Jen are dope with rapping and doing songs and recording, what Sunday's been able to do with the 3 of us together, dog, like, it's unmatched, bro. Like, I can honestly say it's like the best shit I've ever done, like, up to this point in my life. Like,
that's good, man. You know what I mean? Like, can't wait to hear that. When we, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll get to that later. You know what I'm saying? To the whole like when it drops and all that. You know what I'm saying?
We definitely gonna plug the hell out of that. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I know who we're gonna give that to review too. I think we're gonna let Angel do that. But
oh yeah,
there you go.
Oh yeah. We need the whole review package. Like,
yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
It's a fun journey. We haven't sequenced it yet, but from start to finish, that thing is a fucking journey, man. It's an experience.
I need that. I'm a very critical dude when it comes to rap. I need my hip hop feeling. I need it to have different style. You know what I'm saying? I need a bit of everything. I need food and medicine. You know what I'm saying? I need all of that, and that's what I'm expecting. And I'm expecting a lot of that. I'm expecting to be pissed off listening to it. I'm gonna be messaging y'all very angry things, but it's not.
Yes, man. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
hey, Reckless.
Get your questions going, sir.
For sure. Now, I want to let everyone know, like, individually, like, where are you guys from, and like, how did y'all like get into music individually? Whoever wants to go first.
I'm LA, San Pedro in Los Angeles. San Pedro is at the end of the 110 freeway across the bridge from Long Beach, for anyone who doesn't, know geographically. But I'm Los Angeles, and I've been doing music since forever. I was like in my mom's stomach, and she was going to like huge concerts like Santana and Earth, Wind and Fire and shit while I was in her stomach. I'm like 7 or 8 years old. Some chick that she was selling Avon to, her son was like this dude I kind of looked up to, and he played guitar. So that Christmas I asked for a guitar. And so I've been playing since then. I was in a band since I was like 12. So all kind of music.
Fire.
Got the same guitar in the background?
Yeah. It makes...
No, but this is a long time guitar. I had this for like 20 years, yeah.
It makes sense. Like for, usually you could tell someone kind of grew up with some sort of music in their life because of like the way you rap, as far as like timing and using your vocals as like an instrument rather than like, oh, I'm just rapping. There's a lot of pauses. There's subtle. There's a lot of very, very intricate pocket work, but people, you got to be able to hear that shit. It's not, we know it's like not everybody can catch that. And that's a lot of things that's like, yo, what I've learned just in the review game is like, bro, you can't teach that. They got to just learn that shit through experience. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach that shit. It's like, how are you going to teach somebody how to count when they've been counting a certain way their whole life? You know what I'm saying? It's very different.
Oh, yeah,
it's definitely one of the things I noticed about both of these guys in music, because when I first checked them out, they both already had albums, full-length albums out, so I was able to hear what they do solo, and that's evident right away. I'm like, these guys know how to make songs. Like, they know music for real, how to structure good music. And, that was besides the fact that they're great bar rappers and all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's about the music, so... I noticed that right away. But Sunday, he should have went last, dog, because he's in LA and Hollywood. Like, he's over there popping, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why he went first and gave his whole thing, but...
well, y'all didn't start speaking. Oh, maybe I'm the first box on here, so...
How are we going to let Hollywood start off, dog?
Hey, as a West Coast fellow artist, I ain't mad at it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, dog. Like, come on, you could have waited, dog. No, but I guess I'll say I was born in the Bronx, even though I only lived there for a few years and my parents moved and all of that. But I was born there. That's in my blood. You can't take that out of me. Yep. And people think people hear it right away. They're like, "Damn, you from the Bronx?" I'm like, "Yeah, kind of." You know what I'm saying? Like, I was there. But that's where I started. And then all my family were musicians. All of them either sang or they played a different instrument. You know what I'm saying? And, like, we were the type of family that when you got together for family gatherings, we all gonna be in there singing and making, like, doing our own karaoke, and somebody gonna start making, drums out of some kind of weird object, you know what I'm saying, and just making instruments out of each other,
Yeah.
And up on stages, my parents were pastors, so like they would put me on stage and make me sing like in front of big crowds. So that shit was just instilled in me basically from the beginning. And I could say the same thing as Sunday, man. I'm sure I was somewhere in my mom's stomach, you know what I'm saying? She was getting down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's me. That's the Bison, bro.
All right. Damn, we got you, man. You up next.
You know what it is, dog.
Boy, church really makes some genius, brilliant musicians, man.
Mm-hmm.
Some folk who came out the church growing up, boy.
That's a fact. So, Jan, what's good? What's the origin story? The musical origin story?
Well, my mom and my stepdad, like, they could both sing. So I was around singing. I have people in my family that can sing, but my uncle was the only one that rapped, and I didn't like rap. Like, he was like raw too, and I was young. Like, yo, stop that shit. Like, that shit is whack. You know what I mean?
You would never take that shit, boy. Play your rap.
Yeah, and then so I was in third grade, and this like, I came from a school that was like, they're like a year ahead of this other school, but it's the same grade. Like, their information is just way ahead of them. So I would like never really participate in class. I'd just take the test, ace it, whatever, and then so I didn't really like do anything in class. And the teachers was always trying to like get me to do stuff. So one day they had like, we gonna do this poetry contest, and the teacher's like, are you gonna interact with us today? Like, you're gonna, engage your classmates? And I was like, no, like, I'm not. It's over with. And then she was like, well, we're gonna do poetry. I'm like, well, that's what's up. You know what I mean? And she was like, well, she used reverse psychology on me. She's like, you probably couldn't do it anyways. So I was like, oh, really?
She got you.
Like, well,
she got your ass.
She activated my ego as a young child, as a young savant. So I was like, okay. I was like, not only am I going to do it, but it's going to be better than anything you ever seen in the classroom, period. So I did it, and then they ended up like putting my stuff in the hallway. And then after that, like, they would always ask me to do poetry, and then I would do poetry, and they would like keep it. Like, I had teachers up until like the 6th grade that would ask me to do poetry, and then I would do it, and they would always tell me, I'm gonna get this published, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, because I was very eloquent and I wrote and I spoke elegantly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was very talented with writing, but I would never see anything of it. So there's probably a bunch of, poems that I produced as a child that some teacher got some money off of, and and I'm still broke talking about iller. You know what I'm saying?
Did you dirty, bro?
So
that's where the vigor in your current bars comes from, though. So maybe we need it.
All that back, resentment.
We need this bitch to get rich off your shit. Thank you.
Hey man, that's the shot at the teacher bar that I need to hear because I'm tired of everyone talking about the teacher said I was. I want to talk about the teacher that stole their poetry. That's the shit I want that real.
Yeah, it was the opposite effect. They was digging my stuff and they was taking it. And, but what really got me started in rap because I was still just writing poetry after that. Like I just like writing and it didn't necessarily have to rhyme. In fact, I like the stuff more that didn't rhyme. You know what I mean? It's just the way you could say it. You know what I mean? Like I could talk about a tree and I just talk about the whole tree, but it's just where you place the words at, which makes it sound so poetic. And then one of my dudes, who was my best friend, he died from overdose while I was locked up for drug trafficking. He never did drugs and he was always against them, but then he ended up getting with this girl, got on drugs. He died on Father's Day because he couldn't see his kids. He got depressed. He went home. He overdosed on drugs. But he was the one that showed me how to. He was the one that showed me how to rap, and I was so inspired by him because he never. I mean, Bison style reminds me of Bison style, but he had like a similar sound and cadence as Bison. That's why what really drew me to Bison was at first because I was like, yo, he reminds me of Ruffian. Because his name was Ruffian the Dreamer, and he never used the same style twice. Like he could write a million raps, he would never use the same style. He would always change it up. He had a similar cadence, but his style would be different. Like his voice was raw and rugged, and he was a big dude. But like I love this style, and he just we would freestyle for hours, and he basically taught me how to rap, how to take poetry and to put it into like a more of a rap form. And then after that, I just, started. They called me Jay Spitz because that's what he named me because Jordan is my first name. And I just spit. Like that's all I would do is freestyle for days. Like we would just rap and rap and rap. So he called me Jay Spitz. You know what I mean? And then
I'm definitely using that in a bar. Stat. I'm using that in a bar yesterday. I never heard this.
It's a great story, bro. I never heard this before. I'm glad you shared this tonight, man.
That's one of the most I've interviewed, me and Reckless interviewed a bunch of people. We've on our own stuff and with this, and that's one of the first times I've ever heard like a hip hopper gain like more than one fundamental, but naturally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like of life circumstance. Like he got the poetry side of it just from the teacher checking him, trying to test his gangster when it comes to that shit. And then it's like, he learned the fundamental of freestyling, which is something that a lot of people don't like or is tough to do just off of like pure, you know what I'm saying? Just someone showing I'm gonna dive into it, not just like, I want to freestyle, so I'm gonna try it. I see this rapper do it, this rapper. This was like a homie. This was a homegrown, you know what I'm saying? And that's dope, man. That's super dope, man. Shout out to the homie, man. Rest in peace.
Yo, he made me have to shout out my cousin Rob though, since we talking about who got us rapping and Rob. Shout out to Rob Seminar. He became a teacher. Funny that you correlate the teachers, but he was my teacher with rap, and he's still teaching now. He's out there teaching kids right now, just like he was teaching me as a kid. So shout out to Rob Seminar real quick, bro.
Shout out to the homie, man.
He's so ahead of his time, bro. Like, imagine if like even a quarter of his just hip hop knowledge as far as flows and stuff like that, and just delivery and stuff, got to like. Just to SoundCloud, them type rappers. Like imagine, you know what I'm saying? Their games would be stepped up like exponentially. Like that shit would make a big difference. Cause it's like, it's tough, bro. Like I've been doing music for a long time and everything was like off of what I heard. That's always been my strong point. I always listened to mad music and I would hear something and I'm like, I like that. And I'm like, let me learn this. Let me see if I could do it. And I fuck around with it. You know what I'm saying? Until I mastered it or I felt like I was like this, I could mix this in my bag whenever I want. But like to put a name or a style or, to have it explained to you rather than like you mimicking and copying and learning for yourself type of thing is not important, bro. You know what I'm saying? Way more. And it's crucial, bro. Like it's crucial. Like that shit is dope as hell. Shout out to Rap. Killing always.
Sure.
Always.
Sure.
Speaking of like names and stuff, like how did y'all settle each other's names? I know you probably Jen had a different name, but now it's a new name. So
yeah, I want name stories, man. I want all the names.
Oh,
I got
who wants to go first?
I was Frank C up until my birthday of 2020, where my cousin Rob.
Bison.FC. Okay.
Yeah, Frank C. Yep.
See you.
Yeah. So I was going by that for years, bro. I was like, I'm gonna just be who I am. I went by my real name, you know what I'm saying? And so, but my cousin Rob convinced me to he was like, bro, we need to create a character and not just create one. We found one that I created when I was 15, and I made my first mixtape, and I was going by Bison by then. And he was like, bro, we need to bring back that sound that from 98, you know, and that's how the Bison album came out, was because of that, because of Rob. He brought me back from out of close retirement and got me to do a whole 90 golden era hip hop album.
Fire.
And you know what? I was like, I'm gonna just use Bison for this album. I'm gonna just say Bison for this. But I didn't know that all that was gonna happen, and how I was gonna just embrace it completely. Yeah. I met all of these dudes after that. Genesis was the first dude I met. As soon as I dropped my first song, Genesis found that shit, and because he's actually Professor X. He goes out there and finds the mutants. Yeah. He's doing this even now to this day. He's always searching for rappers.
Fire.
So he found me that way. And then it's been almost 2 years, and my birthday this year will be 2 years that I've been running back with Bison again.
That's fire. See that type. I love. See me, I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of the underground coming together and finding artists that people would never find, because to me that's always going to be the fun side of music, because music is endless. You know what I'm saying? You can't just put something about this is the best shit that ever came out. No, bro. There's so much music you'll never know. You'll never know what the best shit ever is. It's just So when people do that, to me, that's dope, and that's just, it's reminiscent of old school A&R and shit. And I always like to hear yo, if Genesis out here grabbing artists, that's something that I've been doing since forever. I love that energy and finding shit like that. It's bro, you think of stuff like that, it's yo, why are we not running a label? Why don't and put together his Avengers? You know what I'm saying? And that's dope. I'm more mind states need to be like that. Cause think of
especially for me coming from the Bay Area, we have so many things we always have compilations to put out different artists. We want to be on this shit. Well, I'm gonna drop it with these artists. Get your name out there, and we always just do that, pumping out so many different compilations. My first project was a compilation just to put out.
Yeah. You
I only wanted to put it out.
Well, I think community is the greatest aggregate. No, that's not the word. The thing that helps the most with growth for an artist, as much as it's a solo thing, you're your own boss, you're your own whatever, the community helps, right? And it feels like once you label up, you lose. So, you don't lose anything. Your community becomes the label, though. Yeah. And then you, in essence, become close to kind of the rest of the world. I have label friends who are just they don't be hanging out. They're just world is different now. Their community is different now, or whatever. And it's and then so we have this thing, because also in real life you're supposed to have community physically in real life with people and whatever. But I'm gonna be real, LA, as much as it's LA, the entertainment capital, out here shows is all it's just full of haters. It's just full of haters and snakes, trying to get you for something, or be I'm better than this nigga. And it's not really no love like that, man. The whole thing is a fight. So it's that's why I love this, what we have here, for the sake of the community, whether it's us here, Heru, whether it's the Barkeeper crew or whatever, it's just, that's the greatest aggregate of growth. Is that the word? Aggregate?
Might be. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I was right.
Powerful. People don't realize that shit is so powerful, because it's bro, most of the time it's I'm gonna throw a wild number out there, but 90% of the time people get into something is because of a feeling that witnessing all of it in front of you was people getting into music is because they went to their first concert. after hearing something they liked, and they saw everybody enjoying it. You know, getting into sport because they saw a whole team work together. You know what I'm saying? Because we're humans. That's how we work. And it's like, but that whole like, oh, I got to do it by myself and all that shit. It's like, bro, you know, those are the artists that fucking end up by themselves. You know what I'm saying?
You need a community in this thing. It's a lonely, lonely world for an artist, yo.
Yeah, you go crazy. You know,
and that's the difference too, because like you look at like artists like the big ones, like you look at like a Jay-Z, you know, Beyonce, like Nicki Minaj. They got their beehives and their mobs essentially, and like. The beauty of that is you can call that a community because that mob will defend them to death against other people, but will turn on them to keep them in check.
That's true.
That's the community.
That's true.
You know, you need that.
That's what you need from yes.
Although the Beyonce ones don't really check her like that, to be honest.
I mean, Beyonce don't commit too many checkable offenses.
Yeah, she's not doing nothing wrong.
She don't miss. She don't miss.
Pretty flawless, that chick.
You know what I'm saying? She not doing nothing wrong. She not doing nothing that she hasn't done before. She on a very specific schedule chilling.
Yeah. You should have checked on that one movie though, where she like screamed and sang. Like, what was that? What was that about?
They loved it.
That's what I'm saying. They don't check her all the time.
Nah, they loved it. But that's that. But that's that. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? That shit matters. Like that shit. And then you look at like you got the other side. Well, you got like Drake's community. They'll turn on him any day to keep him in check. But they're still gonna get him that he's gonna chart. He's gonna get, you know what I'm saying? Like they're going to defend him online to death. But then the artists who don't have that, they'll come out with something dope. We'll like it for a bit. They come out with something whack, they're gone. They're gone. They got no one to lift them up. You know
the nature of the ugly ass beast that we chose to participate in.
Oh, I know, man. Music is dirty. I mean, that's I don't want to get into no conspiracy shit, but that's how everything. That's like the way the news, like splitting up the community at home and in your neighborhood. Them labels, they're no different. They're just music government, bro. It's the same shit. But anyway, Sunday,
I didn't mean to step on the question. Or whatever. Mine's nice and boring.
Yeah, because I know he got a good one.
There's been iterations of whatever of my past bands and all that. But when High Sunday came to be, it was just the group of folks I was playing shows with at that time. Like we were going with Infamous, right, with an E, just because I guess it's hip hop to misspell shit. Xuper Heru.
I hate it.
That's what people literally think that Xuper Heru is just like, oh, you misspelled the shit, like to be like hip hop about it. Like, all right, man. But so anyway, so I had to change it because someone had that brand or some shit overseas somewhere already. So. Sat down, listed a whole bunch of names, a bunch of whole things with a bunch of million different cool reasons and double entendre, triple entendre reasons and shit. But honestly, High Sunday was sitting there on the list, and it was like, I like the feeling of that. It's, it's the feeling of, I'm going to make stoner hip hop, and Sunday's a nice feeling. It's like uplifting, it's light, it's rebirth, it's reflection, all that like works,
It's like the restart day. I think of Sunday. It's like
lazy Sundays, man.
Get ready for think of lazy Sunday. Yeah. Let's get ready for the week. So this is my chill day. Nothing's breaking my peace.
That name sounds like something you would hear at like a Cali Roots festival or something,
I mean, ideal. That is when I started going like full band, like 6-piece plus band, So that was like a rebirth or like a new whatever. But that's it. There's no cool meaning. It just kind of looks the coolest after all the other ones with cool meanings. So.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's a solid, but I got top favorite names from certain artists, but that was all right. I'm not mad at it though. This dude Taco, his name is forever my favorite. Like,
Taco?
Taco. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, why? He was like, oh, when I was a kid, I wouldn't eat anything unless it was in a tortilla. So my parents just put everything in a taco for me. I'm like, that's the best shit I've ever heard.
I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, like you had that name since a kid. That's
he's about to the carne asada anytime. We got tortillas for you.
What's wild is he's from Chicago, bro. Like, what would they put in a deep dish and a tortilla for him and shit like that?
Changing the game, all the calories, all the carbs.
I'm here for it, bro. I respect that, bro. I respect that. But Jen, how your name come about? I know it's gonna have us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, so I was locked up, and I, like my rap name was Jason. So I like didn't use it anymore, and I didn't necessarily have a rap name, but I still wrote like all the time, and but like I wasn't really known for that. You know what I mean? Like I was known for building, as in like educational. Like I was like in prison, I was like the prison psychiatrist / metaphysician / yogi, you know what I mean? Like, so people would come to me and get advice and stuff like that, and I was building with this Mason, and I got introduced to the Nation of the Gods and Earths. So when I started building with them, I had to go through 120, and I don't know if you know what that is, but it's 120 lessons, individual lessons, and you have to memorize them verbatim and recall them at any given time. And then you have like a mathematical system, and then you have an alphabet, and then I mastered 120 in like 2 months, which is like a great feat. And then one of the elder gods was like, yo, they name you, like once you master 120, they give you a name. So my name was Genesis, the God. And he just, he named me Genesis. And then I asked him why, and he said, because I've never met anybody like you. Like you're like the beginning of something new. And so that was like an attribute or a quality that I possessed, while I was in the Nation of the Gods and Earth. And then eventually it just became my rap name. And because I was like, yo, that's pretty dope. You know what I mean? Like, Genesis, and I studied the biblical. I studied, I studied the Quran. I studied the Bible. I studied all these different texts, and I was always researching like the origins of things. You know what I mean? So it was like it was just, it just fit me. And then that just became like my rap name over time. And I was like, yo, Gen, you know what I mean? Genesis, the originator. And, it stuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire. That's fire, bro. I rock with that. Yeah, I rock with Genesis, man. Like shit like that to me, like I've always grown up, always a fan of books. Like the way, my older brother used to always be like, yo, you got to read these books. He would like put revolutionary books and stuff like that. And just when I was on my own, I was like, yo, I just started reading certain things that people like, scriptures and stuff, but as literature, you know what I'm saying? And the amount of things like that it opened me up to, and just my thought process, it changed. You know what I'm saying? When I read the Quran, I was like, yo, and then I was reading, the Bible as literature and all sorts of stuff like that. I'm like, bro, this is shit that, like, if you're not trying to go down the religious path, you should still do, just to understand more of the world around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just so much information in there. Like, shit like that is dope, bro. Like, yo, people need to read more, man. People need to read more books.
People don't read no more, man.
Yeah, people don't read no more. Yeah. And not audio books.
What is that? What is read?
Everybody that do audio books, they don't register. They don't work.
They don't count.
They don't want to touch the brain. You gotta read
the podcasts.
read. Nah, but that's fucking dope, man. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. And shit, like you talking about reading, like the way I was taught to read. Like my father at like 8 years old was forcing me to read the Bible, like the King James version. Like he was a strict ass pastor, and like so, like I'll be reading chapters not knowing what the fuck I'm reading at that age, but I'm reading it. I'm like, Dad, what's this mean? Oh, get the dictionary, find that word, find out what that word means if you don't know it. You know what I'm saying? That's how he did it. So I was strong.
Because he didn't know what it meant. He turned it into a lesson. He said, "Go look it up.
Go find it out. Let me know. Bring us back." You know what I'm saying?
But honestly, what's crazy is like certain things like that too. Like at a young age, having like, even though you probably remember it as like, man, that was a lot, But like having that kind of mentality like instilled in you as a kid, like I bet now, even till this day, if something comes by you that you're not 100% sure on, you're gonna figure it out.
Oh yeah.
And now
I mean it's way easier now because you know what I'm saying, like it's right in your hand. It's right in your hands. Like you got Google now. But back then we didn't have all of that, so it was like that was like, you know what I mean? It was like you really had to find
for sure.
But yeah, for sure.
There's a difference between learning it that way and then the way kids do things now, where it's kind of just delivered to you. So it's almost like 2 seconds. You know, back in the day, you had to work for it, and it's like it's a different. You know what I'm saying? It's the same task essentially, but it's a different way to get there. Different path.
It's like it's no more need for the critical thinking, like going to have to look up the solution and figure it out yourself because we have all the answers. And probably the fact that you don't have to do any critical thinking makes little shit while you're outside in the real world feel a lot harder. And maybe that's why everyone is so much more easily offended, which is something that I just came around. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to do any, like, figure it out. Like, it used to be if some shit sucked, you had to figure it out, whatever. And then, like, or if you didn't know something, you figured it out. But now if all that's given to us, then, like, it's way easier to be offended. Like, yo, why is this being so hard at me right now? Like, why is this making me feel like this right now? You know? And
it's crazy because, like, I think of I put a lot of that towards movies. Like I love movies. I've always loved movies. You know, I love the way we all love us some movies, the way they make you feel and all stuff like that. And when you learn like how to break down a movie, like from the emotional side, like the way things are strung together, like imagery and all sorts of stuff like that, then you start to realize like when people just like straight up, oh, that thing sucks. And it's like, it could suck, but you're missing, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you could still hate it after you learn the things that go into it, the ins and out and all that sort of stuff. But it's like, bro, but you have way more of an appreciation rather than that delivery of, oh, it sucks. It could still suck, but at least you can say why.
Yeah.
Or you can be critical and be like, well, like, you have no excuse. It's all this goes into it. You should know better.
I know. Wasted money. It's like, oh, it sucks. This because of this. But that's like, even with music too. Like, that's why, again, you know, we talk about like this page and like the reviews. I'm not just like, oh man, that shit sucks. You know, have a good day. No, I'm like, yo, I'm going to tell you why it sucked to me. And I'm going to be like, hey, this I wasn't fully on board with, but I like this. I can appreciate this, but this I wasn't here for. This needed this. And it's like, no one's giving. you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and the reason I started the page to review like that was because of like pitchforks and other, Fantano. You watch a Fantano, and like shout out to Fantano, he's getting his money, he's doing his thing. But like, you watch a review of his, and you come out of it like, yo, is that album good? It's like, I don't know, but I know that artist's entire life. I know that artist beefing with his dad. I guess.
The last one was sick because of what he said.
Yeah. And it's just like, what the fuck? That's not what I came here for.
Is the album good?
Yeah, is the album like how did the album make you feel? Like, I don't know about this nigga's parents. Like, I don't know. Like, unless he wrote a song like called Hey, It's My Parents. Like, I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? So shit like that. Yeah. And like Pitchfork, you know, they bullshit people with their reviews and all that swaying shit. They'll compare the Jesus side. It's like, yo, I just want to know what this album right here sounded like to you.
I
don't want to ask strangers. I want to ask someone who I trust with music. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Who knows something? I'll be like, yo, how did it make you feel?
Sure, yeah.
And that's why, like, with this page, I'm like, yo, we try to do a lot, but in a small.
I see you guys do a lot, obviously, man. You put a lot of hours into this, and I see you're on episode 201. I think that's what the thing sounds like. Wow, that's unheard of already for me. But also, I can see how people could like get little clips and sound bites and make you seem like a bad guy or some shit. But that's why I love the name, because it's like, nigga, I'm not your man's anyways. Nigga,
Exactly.
I love the character y'all portray, and it's just and how it's like not your man's isn't just one dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got a team. We all do something different. We all offer something different, and it's like we want people to have like you should have that. Like it's like, all right, it's cool to get, we love to get a good, hey, this shit's dope. But like we hold on to who's telling us like, nah, you can fix that. It don't have to be bad or whatever, but like, hey, maybe you could fix that. Maybe this could sound better. You know what I'm saying? That's what executive producers and those teams and stuff are for. So like, why wouldn't you want to have that in your circle if you can't afford that? On a grand scale. So it's like, hey, we want to offer that up and keep it, trying to make it funny, but we're still keeping it like, hey, we're not your best friend. We're not your fucking homie, but we're going to tell you straight up how we felt and take what you want with it. But we're not trying to take money out.
food out your mouth. We're not trying to take money.
And it's still constructive. It ain't like it's destructive criticism. It's constructive criticism. It's kind of like the friend that, like, let's say you got a group of friends and then your breath stinks and nobody want to tell you, and you got that one friend that's like, yo, breath stinks, like, you go brush your teeth,
friend,
you know your
I'm
breath stinks, you know what I'm saying, like,
and that shit
you might not like it, but
you
exactly. You know what I mean, now when you go talk to this fly chick now, it's like, yo, I'm good because not your man's told me my breath stink.
My breath stink.
You know what I'm saying? So I got my shit together, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think most rappers' sensitive ass egos is like the person who you tell them you're just being a good friend and you tell them their breath stink and they're gonna be like, I'm going home. Like I'm not like, yo, I'm not in the mood for this place no more. Like I'm going home.
Why you always making fun of my breath, man?
No. You don't fucking talk to you for 2 weeks and shit. Like,
and it sucks too, because like, you know, I like I laugh at stuff because I grew up, I'm the youngest of 3 brothers. I was raised by my uncles. My grandma had a bunch of kids and they were mostly men. So like I got roasted and cooked. Like I'm immune. But it's like, yo, that shit will prepare the hell out of me. I'm like, bro, I'm ready for TMZ. I'm ready for anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's like these artists, it's like, bro, you had a page that just is out here just chilling, having a good time, tell you like, hey, maybe you could work on this. And you let it ruin your whole day.
Yeah, I know.
What are you going to do?
That shows you how thin that,
Like, but you know, it works both ways too. Like if you get a gold stamp and somebody gives you all these great praises, you can't let it get to your head too, and now gas you up, and now you're out here thinking like you the best, and like that has to be something that starts here, and that's the only way you can handle an insult or a compliment. Some people don't know how to handle compliments too. Some people compliment them, they're like, "Yo, chill, nigga." Like, what you mean? That's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me I'm good at this, nigga. Like,
chill out,
and it's like,
oh, you guys need a hug if that's you. Yo, go get you a hug, bro. Don't tell me I'm good.
Nobody's ever told me that. Don't start now.
Let's go get some ice cream, dog. It's not that bad.
I promise you, there's people that act like that, bro.
No, for sure. Yeah, there is.
So I mean, you just gotta your opinion gotta matter more to you than anybody else's opinion about you. But you know, at the same time, like, you know, sometimes it hurts, dog, and I can't help it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you need that. I'm with you.
That's the thing too. It's like, yo, music is fucking infinite. You know what I'm saying? You could put out infinite amounts until your dying day. You can put out as much music as possible, especially how fast music is coming out now. So it's like, bro,
crazy,
if you can hang on to that, and you know what I'm saying, and it's like, bro, how are you expected to make more? Right? Like, you could always. That's why I tell artists too. Like, I was a big Cannabis fan. He was like killing it back when he first came out. I
was too. I fuck with Cannabis,
and Cannabis was very big on like, yo, what the fuck is writer's block? He was like, that shit don't exist. And I truly believe, and I've always just had the mentality like, yo, there is no limits. Like, and music is constantly changing, so why the fuck can't I? You know, I can constantly learn. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't figure it out once I figured out rap. I didn't figure out the world. Like, no, rap will always change. There'll always be new styles. Shit will just endlessly keep growing. And you either got to enjoy it for what it is, or you just end up stuck on some bullshit. You're like, oh, everybody's a hater, you know?
We see it.
Yeah.
We have them around.
My fault for the tangents. Go ahead, Reckless.
Oh, sorry. And speaking of doing a lot, I mean, you guys, you got the Dominion Ciphers, the Rap Seminar LLC, you got the Barkeepers, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all juggle it, and like, who started what?
All of those things.
Yeah, and then feel free to include another thing that I might not have mentioned. That's what I've researched.
Well, the one thing that really made us to form was 4-bar. Like, but we started before 4-bar, just doing bars kept, Dominion Ciphers. on our own. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. Genesis hit me up and said, "Yo, Dominion Cypher." No, he told me 4-bar. That's what it was. Rob told me about Dominion Cyphers or some shit like that. I forget, bro, but yeah, that's what it was, right? Dominion Cyphers, bars kept, and then in 4-bar we became a team in 4-bar. And then that's how we had to start working together now and coming up with concepts 4 bars at a time, you know, and we just learn to work together and make music together that way.
Yeah. No, hey, that's fire too.
But we wasn't just doing normal shit though. Like people was just doing like rapping in their phones and then posting it up. We were making crazy. Well, Sunday, the producer really was behind it. We was doing our part, sending him the videos, and he was making crazy things. Like he had us all in the same car, passing.
I was gonna say I've seen. He's fucking real good at it. You had that video with I forgot homie's name, but that recent video, and you fucking like green screened yourself into the video, and it looked. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have peeped it if I didn't watch it on my, fancy TV in the living room.
Oh, sick.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and then I was just like, when it was one of his lines, I forgot his name. You know, the single you did the competition for.
Bad Habit, maybe?
Bad Habit, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm like, I've done a couple collabs lately.
It was recent. And I remember in the song, the dude you was rapping with, he mentioned where he was from, and I'm like, they're not from the same spot. I'm like, they're not in the same place in this video. And then I start looking, and I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, he did a good fucking job. I'm like, that shit is tough.
Thanks, man. It's okay if you see it, as long as it's not at the point of corny. And so, as long as it's before it hits that point, then it's cool. Yeah.
Oh no, you did a great fucking job. Like if I was watching on like this on my my iMac or whatever, I probably wouldn't have seen it. But I got the big fancy TV out there.
Hell yeah.
And him saying it made me notice it. If he didn't say nothing, I probably would have caught it way later.
Hell yeah, that's cool. As long as it didn't immediately be like, that's cool,
Yeah, it's some cheesy shit.
Sometimes screen, feels like that when it pop up sometimes. But yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you. Yeah, there's plenty more where that shit comes. That's where I was gonna say. I think mainly we all I think I saw Bison at Dominion. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Jen was hitting up Dominion
Jen
around
there. Jen was there
Periodically, like I do one, dip out.
Yeah, because I was like aware of you. You know what I mean? And that's where that thing was. And I was just there. Yeah. I was literally doing full time doing this class for Adobe After Effects, Photoshop, and Premiere, like to get certified or whatever. And so every week I was just trying new shit that I was learning. You know what I mean? And so when Dominion was over, we went to 4-bar, and I was like, sweet, we'll work on some more tricks over here. Then, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I tell you, we were in competition because actually in Dominion, like Sunday ended up being on the underdogs, and I ended up joining the Pride NY with the pony side, and so we were competing with each other there, but then we were teams over here on 4-bar. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like somehow we were always connected, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? We were doing. You know what I'm saying? And even now, up until now, for like the last year and a half, we just kept it together, bro. Like so.
Nice.
That's how we got it, bro. And now we got one of the hardest rap group albums ever, dog. Like, I'm telling you, like that with 3 dudes. I met this guy for one weekend so far, but that's after we had already recorded, like, and get, you know what I'm saying? Like, did wet mad shit. You know what I mean? So shit is fire, bro.
Yes, sir.
Ready for that.
Yeah.
And Hi Sunday.
Sorry.
I noticed that you had the barkeepers do a little hiatus, retirement briefly, or however you would call it. Like, why did that happen? And you know what I'm saying? Let us know the whole thing about it.
Okay. Well, so before week 100, I was just a competitor. You know what I mean? I was just participating in the rapping, and then before that, Chuck used to do this show. Chuck Brown Lyrics on Instagram. Chuck Brown used to do this show called Chuck's Corner on Sunday nights. Sometimes I had time, so I would check it out. It was fun, like, cause he's a dude from Orange County here, about from by me over here, and you know, he just kind of, he would tell it straight up too. He would critique you and he would, you know, he would tell you if it was fucked too, or whatever. And so I enjoyed that show. And 1 week he pulled up and was like, I can't do it or whatever. And I was like, well, that sucks. Like we had like a fam, like of people pulling up and watching this shit. So then I was like, I'll go live just to go over the joint so we have something to do tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I went live just to go over everything. I told Chuck, he was like, yeah, for sure, man. And then I did that show, and then he hit me and was like, you know what? Something with work, something with this. Like I just told D-Cure, and he said he was going to be done. So I was like, well, I'll do it again this next week and see what's up. And then so I've been doing Sunday on Sunday since then. But that's still like, I wasn't like working with barkeepers or whatever at all. I was just kind of doing that.
It's a community
thing. Just on the whatever. And then at week 100, D-Cure was running it. Andrew Raps on Instagram. D-Cure, if anyone knows, the dude with the big beard.
Dad jokes.
The dad jokes guy, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I really enjoyed the fact that it took me a while of being on Barkeepers before I even knew he was running. I liked the fact that it was kind of a faceless machine and just had some judges that I was familiar with, and that's cool. And it was like simple and all that, but then I knew he was running it, and at week 100 he told me he was shutting it down, and
that shit.
Then like people was upset. Yeah, people were upset, and people started hitting me because I think people thought that I was kind of running it because I was doing that show. And so even just through that, like I got people's like life stories and shit, bro. Like, dude, I use this for this and this. Like on Tuesdays I do this, and then I gotta get my barkeepers in. Rah, rah, rah. And ultimately I was like, well, we'll figure out something to do because if I have time, I'm here Sundays or whatever, and we'll figure something out. And there were a few different ideas and a few different people being thrown around, but I don't know. Eventually, Cure just asked me if I wanted to take the keys and if I, and so
I felt like it was the best choice. Like I was like, man, who like when I thought about all the tasks that needed to be done, even though I knew it was a lot, I was like, and Sunday was telling me he was thinking about it. I was like, I really can't think of anybody that could handle all of that at once. You know what I'm saying? Other than somebody that you have the talent to do a lot of those things, man. So I appreciate you going, dog. Bro, it's been killing these last few ones. These last few weeks, it's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been cool,
man. It's crazy because like even like seeing Sunday to do it consistently too. It's like it's a lot. There'd be a lot of stuff. Like yesterday, I was I was dying. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, I had a weekend, bro. I was out and I just got home, and I'm like, all right, let's get coffeeed up. I had these espresso candies. I'm like,
yeah.
Even while I was going through it, like there's a point in the video where I'm just scrolling up, and it stopped, and I was like, whoa, we only got a few left. Like, I was like, thank God. Like I was hurt, bro. But
I know that feeling.
Like, that shit is tough. It's tough, but it's dope too because it's like the power that has, like the community that builds, and the amount of people that are looking up to you, and like they put a lot in you, and you're giving a lot of dope fucking feedback. You're giving them, you're giving them even they get a little bit of praise. That could be all they're getting. You know what I'm saying? They could be working a shit job. All that those little things matter, bro. But those dudes, they are going to follow you where the fuck ever, bro. So it's like you're giving back so much, and it's like, yo, like I love that shit. Like once, I know you know the power you got with that, but once you really are like, yo, I can do something beautiful with this. Like I hope you come up with some shit that's gonna really, really start, make some waves. You know what I'm saying?
I will, man, and we all will. We'll create fucking something that works for everyone, man. But I give a shit. It's a couple extra calories to keep this thing running, and it was way more worth it for me. It was way worth the calories for me to like, fuck that. This thing means something to me, and to keep this momentum up and just like keep consistency once it's ingrained in people's actual like real lives. Like I don't think people take that into as into factor enough. Like really I noticed when it all ended and people started DMing me, and I was like, God damn, I did not know that this was this much to y'all, or this was like a part of your life like this, you know.
Big deal for them people now, you know.
I mean, because it's we all know, we all be on it, we all on the internet. It is very hard to start something consistent, like to start it off and have it go this well. You know, it takes a long time for something to catch even the slightest bit of fire. You know? And to have a consistent, like, up to almost 50 people, like, joining in, 20 to 50 people consistently, that's not a...
You know, that's a feat itself, man, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it helps for people to know that the machine will be there. Even if I feel like taking a month off, it helps to know the barkeepers will be there, or whatever machine, or the NotYamanz. It helps to know that, like, even if I haven't been there for a while, like, I know he's still running. Like, let me go catch some reviews, you know?
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, yo, you could tag me in whenever, bro. We've been doing NotYamanz for a couple years now, and I barely miss. You know, I've been posting literally up to 2 to 3 reviews Monday through Friday. I don't be missing. So I'm consistent as fuck. So I'm like, yo, if you ever need me to tag in, we with it.
That's it, bro. The machine is so valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my favorite parts of this interview, God knows what it is. Top 5 Bay rappers of all time. Whoever wants to go first.
Oh, did you say Bay rappers?
No, favorite rappers of all time.
Oh, favorite. I thought you said Bay Area. Like,
no, I'm not going to impose my Bay beliefs on y'all.
Force that on them. Now, to simplify this, I think to make this question easier, because this shit always be killing people, but just give us your top 5 right now.
Yeah, right now.
What?
Rappers, top 5
rappers that are like out right now.
That you fuck with right now.
Yeah, that are live.
Just top 5 that when you think of who's on your playlist the most right now that you fuck with the most, just give us that top 5.
Yeah, because you know it's hard to get the of all times. You know, I love them.
I said Bison, High Sunday, Genesis, Star and Life. That's my top 5.
The plug of all plugs.
You know what I'm saying? Aside from them, how about that?
I'm gonna keep it 50-50. To be commercial Hollywood about it. Kendrick, Pusha, Xuperheru, Keys to the Vault playlist on Spotify.
Kendrick and Pusha. No.
I mean, I know that they're like kind of the cliche thing, but I think they're 2 of the illest rap joints of the year for sure. That fucking half Pharrell produced shit, man. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It was a rough one.
That's fair. What we got? I don't know what you
got. Sky.
Yeah, you can find it.
No, I'm just looking at this really big spider that was just hanging down, kicking
it. Kill that shit.
Out of nowhere, he just kicking it. He's just kicking it.
Kill it.
He came down. I guess he wanted to hear my top 5.
Yeah. He's like, "What's up? You
gotta move addresses now."
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Yeah. What's up with that top 5? I mean, man, that's a hard question because
right now.
That's why we say right now. It can change every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like right now, you know?
Man, it's like I got like 2 top 5s. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like
we've had it before.
There's like a top 5 where it's like a specific type of music, specific type of rap, and then like the other specific type of rap. You know what I mean? So, I got the deep side, and then I got they're both deep, but one is more commercial deep than the other one. You know what I mean? So, in my commercial deep, and when I say commercial deep, you're going to be like, yo, those are not necessarily commercial artists.
I told you this, Professor X.
But they are in comparison to the other artists that I have. You know what I'm saying? So, if I was going to go with my commercial deep, I'd have, a Royce the 5'9", I'd have a Black Thought, I'd have a Rakim, I would have MF Doom, Even though he's not commercial,
Come
these dudes are not really
on.
commercial. You know what I'm
How
saying?
un-hip hop are you gonna make me look?
What you mean? I'm about to say that's Manz too, right there. That's everything you said.
Oh, we get to you soon,
then,
but
That's on me.
let me see who would be the other.
I like them too.
individual in that. So who'd I name? Black Thought, MF Doom, Rakim, Royce the 5'9". I love Crooked. I put Crooked in there because even though he does like he can do like the battle type, like he gets prolific, like he gets deep. Like if you listen to like some of his albums, he's got like some just crazy stuff that's like, yo, it's deep. And then what is that, 4 or 5 for that category?
That was 5 for that.
That was 5.
Okay, so then my other category would be like the deeper would be like I got Kambada, I got Chief Kumachi, I got a dude that's in our community who is like, you know, or the Jizza's in there. Okay, the Jizza would be in there in that category. But then you got Jerome Duffy. Like, y'all got to check out Jerome Duffy, man. Like, he's a real life practicing Buddhist. He's also an ADOS. You know what I mean? African descendants of slaves. And he's like a spokesman for the people, and like dude is super prolific, he's super deep, he's well educated, he's well rounded as an artist. He's
I think Rap Seminar did one of his, and that's why I think I heard of him from.
He's legit as he's legit as fuck. He from San Ho, but check out My Blood, My Flag. It's a project he just put out on Juneteenth, and that pretty much character, you know, kind of sums up who the guy is lyrically and thematically. It's an ill project, and it's for free on YouTube and SoundCloud. So people,
I would definitely check that out. He's in my neighborhood.
Yep. He in San Jose. Yep.
Yeah. And that's 4. And then let me see. So Kambada, Chief Kumachi, Jizza, Jerome Duffy, and who else would I put in that? I know I'm forgetting somebody, man. In that category.
This was unfair. I thought it was way more of a rapid fire.
There's definitely somebody else, but I'm not. I don't know why it's not clicking right now. I probably have to come back to it, but you know what I mean. Like two different categories. You have like the one that's like conscious, deep, but commercial, and then conscious, deep, underground, less commercial. You know what I mean? Like more, you know, more gritty and grimy.
And MF Doom in your commercial list.
I mean, but if you're listening to, like, well, look, if I could, I would switch Jizza with MF Doom and put MF Doom more in like my gritty underground, because Jizza, he's not commercial either, but like MF Doom is just more gritty than Jizza. You know what I mean? So like those two would be like interchangeable. You know what I mean? But like. I mean, if you listen to Kambada and Chief Kumachi versus Black Thought and, you know, Royce the 5'9", then you'll see why they're in different categories.
No, for sure. For sure. Listen, I got a whole playlist with nothing but Royce, MF Doom, Black Thought. I got that too. Okay.
Yeah, my bad. I wasn't trying to. I mean, and then I have another. Another top 5 would be us. It would be my group. It would be Blanju. So that would be 4. You know what I'm saying? And then it would probably be somebody else from the community. Let's see who else. Because it'd be me, High Sunday, Bison, Blanju, and. I'm sure there'd be somebody else I could pick from the community that like, but these are just different. It's like I can't really say that I have a top 5 that's, you know what I mean, specifically, because like I put all of these, I'd put any of these guys up against each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's like any given Sunday, like how football is. Like you never know who's gonna win. You know what I mean? Like these are all top tier MCs that all climb Mount Everest barefooted. You know what I'm saying? Butt naked in the snow with a microphone. So it's like, you know what I mean?
I'd like to reevaluate my answer. I'd also like to do a top 17, please.
Nah, but see, the thing is, though, is like if you're asking like who I'm listening to in my top, like that I'm listening to, like I really only I'm listening to these guys that I tell you I'm listening to the Prada NY because I'm working on music with. That's a 12-man group. I said Star in Life. We got Show Rod. We got, Den. We got Royalty, Defire, D Rhyme, Cineas, MCS, Spec. You know what I'm saying? Look, all these names I met, and all of these people are all individually working on music.
Yeah.
And I don't got time to even really listen unless somebody big drops. Like I'll pay attention to Kendrick, give it a spin. I'll give Cole a spin, and but other than that,
let them know what you're really listening to. He been bumping that Drake nonstop.
Yeah. Hey, my Drake. If you're in the right place,
this nigga came back in the group chat like, "Yo, I think you guys are underestimating this Drake, man." Like, no.
They just ain't been in the places I've been in lately. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. You know what I mean? You had to be there.
Music's subjective anyway. You feel me?
No, I really like the old Drake though. I can't front. I mean, I fuck with this shit at a certain time, but I can't just play this by myself or some shit like that. So, you know what I'm
That's true.
Not trying to just break out and dance.
Yeah.
We don't want to dance all the time.
Oh shit, they gonna catch me one day by myself with it.
On a TikTok video later on. You already know.
That's just
a new album, yo. Let's talk about this new album real quick.
But all right, man. But that's the question. I think that was the end of your questionnaires, Rick. Yep. So we're gonna give y'all the window to the red carpet. We're gonna let y'all know what's next as a group, individually, and where people can find y'all stuff, man. Let people know. Do the hip hop thing.
Yeah, it's a real crazy thing when we're trying to conjure up energy for this situation right now, and we know that there's a bunch of surprises soon come that we can't talk about. So, but we're gonna say July 1st, Get Iller, the first single off of our first album. It's going to be out and available on Bandcamp Friday, and then just stay close by because we will be, we that's good. Bunch of cool things soon come right after that. So pay close attention, and that's it, man. Personally, just High Sunday Music on Instagram and High Sunday on all streaming.
All right.
There you go.
Bison.FC on Instagram. That's really all I'm on right now. They're telling me I gotta do all the other shit. I'm gonna get there. We're gonna get iller. We're gonna continue to get iller. And yeah, man, just know that we put a lot into what we're about to present. Like we took our time and we wanted to make sure we're gonna, present this the right way. You know what I mean? So bear with us and just know it's coming, bro. It's Heru week right now.
Hey, I'm here for it, man. I definitely want to, I'm ready for the music. And hey, man, I want to help out, to get get people knowing what's going on. Feel free to send me anything, to tag us in anything, just to spread word, man. I definitely think more people need to hear it. I want to know where to get one of them beanies, though, man. I mean, how do I?
What's the beanie you said?
Yeah.
The beanie?
Yeah.
We get that.
Yeah, so all this stuff, even though I'm supposed to have the shirt promo video done, but it's a 15-second video and it's 3 hours plus for the render because I'm trying this new shit with motion graphics. So trust me, I'm trying to do cool shit. But anyway, but we'll announce here since we're here, and that video should soon come. So on July 1st as well, on Bandcamp, we'll also have the store available for all of the merch. And so, but I'll make a promo video showing everything we have. We have beanies, hats, backpacks, shirts. You feel me? Hoodies, And all of that will be available on the store, on the Bandcamp page on Friday.
Trying to get it
good to go. And all of our merch is exclusively through rapseminar.com.
Fire. Okay, solid, man. Yo, I truly appreciate y'all chopping it up with us. This was a good ass time. I knew it was gonna be a good time.
I was excited for this.
Hey, can I say thank you for asking us to come through, man? Like, I know we talked that we had you on our show.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know, but you actually reviewed my very first song as Bison. The you know what I'm saying, the Overstand. And when I turned to Bison, we did that. And so I met you back then when we did that drop.
Right. Well, now Rob was hyping you up.
Yeah. So who knew, you know what I mean, we'll be here now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
but we need you to do the review next. So, like, we're gonna have a lot of shit we need you to review. Like, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, we got y'all, man. We got y'all for sure, man. I mean, y'all came and chopped it up with us. We truly enjoyed it, man. Let me know whatever y'all got in the works, man. We'll figure it out, man. We want to spread the word, man. We support, man. I'm a fan. I rock with all of y'all. So this group,
and same, man. Same. This is fam. This is fam for sure. Oh, and thank you again for covering the keeps, man.
I enjoy that shit. It's a fun time, you know, and it's fun. Like, I enjoy it because their energy is like, you could power my whole mood off the energy that they give.
Look, my workload is more over there now. So, like, if we want to make like a once a month or something, I'm okay to get a few Sundays off.
It's a great idea, actually.
Hey, I'm with it. The thing that's too, because I was like, since my technical difficulties, I was like, if I can get everybody in on this format, I could have jump in on the reviews with us.
That's right.
Yeah, I can have the team coming on the review. We could do multiple people, so we can have a good time in the presentation.
Down for that.
Yeah, I know, right? I know we got everybody with it.
I can fuck with all that, man, for sure.
They'll get multiple ears. They'll get multiple inputs. It's like, why not? If you make a whole little fun of that out of it. I'm down.
Yeah. That's ill, man. Yeah.
It's exciting.
I don't mind sharing the load, at all. I like what's happening.
Supporter first, like, that's the thing. Like, I did this. I started the page because I fuck with music. Everything I do is like, I just love the music. I love the community of it. And the pandemic made me love it more. Like, I was doing this before. I've been doing this for a long time. I always had different side projects I was working on. I just love the community of it, bro. Because this shit is. This, low key is the shit that saved my life when I was just a little ruffian, a hoodlum running around and shit like that. So it's like, bro, I love this type of shit. This shit, people need this, bro. People need that community, need that shit, that direction, that guidance, and just somewhere as an outlet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck it. If I could do it on the web, why not?
Hell yeah, for sure. Yep.
Real shit. But again, I appreciate y'all, fellas. This shit was super dope. I'm gonna leave the live up for like a day or two, but then I'm gonna chop it up. I'm gonna make it look nice, and I'm gonna drop it next week to get people more involved. So it'll be good to lead up until the single. I'll probably drop it right like when the single comes out, just to add a little
extra promo for that.
Sweet,
promo to it. But again, y'all can hit us up. Y'all need anything, holla at us. Man. Keep in touch.
Oh, we're gonna be hollering, bro. It's you know what I mean? Don't expect that, like.
Yeah,
we don't keep it. We don't keep our word on that. I promise.
Hey, for real. Hey, man. Y'all have a good one, man. Peace out, y'all. Appreciate everybody that joined in too, man. Peace out, peoples.
See you later, man.
See ya.